Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be part 2 of the Rainbow Six Siege drone, and here I just go over the code and explain everything. So let's get started. Now let's look over the code for the Rainbow Six Siege drone. So let's look at the transmitter first. So first we include all our libraries, and make sure you download the NRF24L01 library. And then we define the pins CE and CSN to 2 and 3 respectively, and the address is set to 00002, and make sure the address on both sides are the same, otherwise they would not communicate to each other. Next we define everything for the NRF24L01. We set the value X to the X-axis value on the joystick, and Y to the Y-axis value, and we put it into the list values, and we then send this list to the receiver. So this list contains all the information we need to control the motors. So, oh yeah, if you don't know what a list is, this is also known as an array. Now let's look at the receiver code. So again, we include our libraries. Here I define all the pins that we need for the L298N board. And these are all the variables that I'm going to be using for this side. So then we define the CE and CSN pins to 7 and 8 respectively, same address, and then all the pins on the connected to the L298N board is an output, and then we define everything else, and then this is where the code for the motor start. So we receive the list and we put it into the new list called lister, and since the x value is 0 and the y value is 1, we use the map function to the map function which uses proportions to turn like 0 to 123 into 0 to 255, because the L298N board only reads it from 0 to 255. And then after that, this is the raw value, so 0 to 123, and these are the new values, which are 0 to 255. So here, if the raw value of y is above 550, then it makes the motors go forward, and it sets the speed too. And then if the raw value of y is lower than 470, then it makes the motors go backward. And then if the raw value of x is lower than 470, it makes it go to the right. And if the raw value of x is higher than 550, it makes it go to the left. So that's it for making the code. Motor speed is just the speed of the motor, and so if the joystick is in the middle, it just makes the motor speed 0, so the motors don't do anything. And here it just tells the motors what speed to go at. That's it for the code. Now let's talk about what you might have to personalize about your code. So so my values, my values when like I'm not touching the analog joystick, is 506 and 492. 506 is my x-axis, and 492 is my y-axis. So based on that, I made the range between 550 and 470. So if your number is higher than 550, like any of the numbers, or 470, then you'll have to change the values. So in the range 550 to 470, in that middle range, the analog joystick has no effect on the motors. Like the motors do not like turn on. So suppose your number was like 556, then you would have to increase this value to like 560 to put it in this range. Or suppose your number was like 440, then you'd have to decrease this to like 400. But then remember to decrease this a little bit too. So that's it. And similarly, the same thing for the x-axis. That's the only thing you'll ever need to personalize. And also, suppose you have other NRF24L01s, make sure you have like a different address than the others. Otherwise, it will could like cause problems between the communication. That's it for personalizing your code. Now let's test everything. So first I will connect my battery to the thing. And then after that, make sure that your pins are facing the right. And then also hold your motors up, otherwise they're going to like spin violently. And then after that, you'll see that if you go forward, the motors rotate forward. If you go backwards, the motors rotate backwards. Right, you'll see that the left side goes forward and the right side goes back. That's how you turn. And then same, the opposite way for the opposite side. So that's how it moves. Make sure this is all working. If not, then maybe your motor's polarity is wrong. So you have to just switch these two around. And if not, and if something else isn't working, go back and check the first video to fix it. And that's it for the testing. Thank you for watching today's video. The next part is going to be me testing my drone with the body that I'll create, and I'll make a 3D CAD of it and then show it to you guys. But yeah, that's it. This is going to be the final video where I teach you how to build it. Thank you for watching.